today then we're going to be driving my high mileage BMW 330D to the Nürburgring in Germany. What could possibly go wrong with that? It may not be the quickest car around the Nürburgring, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be the highest mileage one on there. I've had this car for about 5 years. I bought it on 193,000 miles and she's done about 279,000 miles now, so she's getting on. Yeah, it's not the most perfect car in the world, but that gives it character. And let's be real here, who wants a brand new electric car when you can have a rusty old BMW? Now this was one hell of an adventure. I prepared my car and I'd even prepared myself, and I was speaking fluent German. The plan then is tonight that we're going to be setting off early hours of the morning, driving down to Dover, getting the train into Calais and then driving through France and Belgium to get to Germany. Some people might be taking their new Lamborghinis or, you know, like Ferraris, Bugattis, whatever you want to call it around the Nürburgring. But for me, I'm more than happy to take my car. It's something that I've wanted to do for years, and I'm so happy that I can actually finally take this car to the Nürburgring, Germany, because on the miles, my goal with this car is to get it to over 300,000 miles. And if she can make it on a long run, make it around the Nürburgring and back, it says a hell of a lot about this car. Since the day that I've got this car, I've always wanted to try and get high miles out of this thing, and one day eventually take it back to Germany. But seeing as she's made it this far now, I think it's only fair that we take her on a nice adventure. The other thing that's going to be a little bit strange to me, it's going to be my first time driving on the opposite side of the road and in a right-hand drive car, so I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'm going to have to get used to it anyway. So. And another time I did want to go to the Bmw museum at the other side of Germany, but we probably haven't got time for that because we're only there for a couple of days, and at a later date. Oh, that's another thing. This is going to be the first weekend that they're opening the Nürburgring, and it's a little bit daunting because I think they have the Porsche Cup on, and of course I've never been around there before, and I'm probably going to have all of these Porsches absolutely flying around me on the outside, and I don't know how that's going to go down, but I'm going to try and make the most of it and hopefully bring this car back in one piece. If I bring the car back in one piece though, and I've done a couple of laps, I'm more than happy. I've only got a couple of laps to do because they're not exactly the cheapest thing, of course, but maybe one day I'll be fortunate enough to buy myself a yearly ticket, and then it won't matter how many laps I've got, and it'll be in something a lot quicker than that anyway. It should be a hell of a lot of fun either way, so let's get on with it. Now all we need to do is actually set off and get there, which is what we're going to be doing tonight. If you haven't already, do us a favour and tap that subscribe button for us. If you have, then that's great. So then at 12 AM we got up and we got ourselves ready for the long old journey down to Dover, which is about a 3-hour journey from where we are in Northamptonshire, but still an overall journey of 8 hours to the Nürburgring in Germany without any delays. In theory, we were going to arrive at the Nürburgring at 9:47 AM the next morning, so we're going to be driving through the night. And just to top it all off as well, both of us were feeling really ill and we caught a flu, and my head was absolutely killing throughout this trip. It still doesn't change the fact that this was probably one of the best times of my life, if I'm honest. Nonetheless, we made our way down the A1 and then onto the M25 into Kent. And then thanks to the help of video editing, before we knew it, we were down in Dover, ready to get on the Channel Tunnel, or Le Châtel, as they would call it. Okay, so finally, we've got down to the Channel Tunnel now, and we've got here a couple of hours early, so basically we've just got to pretty much wait to get on it. They've let us in a few minutes early, have a little walk around, see what happens, and then we should hopefully end up in France. So as well as you can see, for once in a blue moon, I've actually given my car a full and in-depth clean, and for 280,000 miles, this thing doesn't scrub up too bad at all. And it's probably also because of the light, you can't see too many defects on it. Of course, with a couple hours to kill, we did find a few. People. That one, feel that? Oh no, she's a crusty old girl now. Look at that. It's probably full of water. Look, I know she's not perfect, and it's 50 shades of silver, but it's still running and driving at the end of the day, and that's the main thing. And with my questionable repairs to one side, on with the trip. After killing a couple of hours waiting around, we were given the go-ahead to get ready and to board the train into France.
Up we go!
Now, after boarding Le Châtel, we just had to sit there, hold tight and wait till we were in France. We arrived in France bright and early and ready to make our trip across Europe to get to Germany. After a small delay, we were actually planning on arriving there now at 11:43. Strangely enough, not long after getting into France, pulling onto an A road, this car made a loud clunk from the rear, and I'm not entirely sure what that was at the time. Even then, it didn't feel quite right and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But it's still driving fine, so we're going to carry on. And later on, I figured out exactly what the problem was. And before you know it, we'd actually made our way through to Germany. Now, we'd even seen the Nürburgring on a sign which meant we weren't far away at all, and we'd found possibly one of the best things about Germany.
That's it, go.
The Autobahn. As you can imagine then, I have dreamt about being on the Autobahn for years, and I'm sure for you and anyone else that's into cars, this is perfection. After a long old 8-hour drive, we'd finally arrived at where we were meant to stay in Nurburgring. We checked in, unpacked our bags and had a look around the museum, which had some absolutely insane cars in it, cars I could only ever dream of owning. Then we got some photos and somehow we ended up on the Nürburgring.
Fucking hell, my god.
Magically ended up on it, I don't have a clue what
But probably that squeak. Ooh.
But we'll carry on with that tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'd left my camera at the hotel. After that, we went out for a meal and then we got up bright and early, ready to have a proper go around the Nürburgring. So I'm about to take this car on the ring. I'm going to get absolutely slaughtered by all these other cars though. I may not have the quickest car, be the quickest, but I'll probably do the highest mileage car. So I'm about to enter it. And looking at all the cars here, proper track cars. Probably spend half of the life here. Quite nerve-wracking. And here's where my language skills really started to shine. Oh. My German is awful, by the way. This feels unreal, really. I can't believe I'm taking my 279,000 BMW around the Nürburgring. It's absolutely terrifying, but I think it's quite quiet, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm not going to absolutely hammer this thing because I would like to get back to England in this, I'm not going to lie. I don't really know this track at all, but it just feels unreal to drive this car around here. This is where it starts, and obviously I've got to make sure that I'm not holding other people up. M3 absolutely flying, that's wicked. I'm glad because I've come so early on Sunday, it's about 9 AM on Sunday, and it seems like it's fairly dead. Basically, the other day I ended up here by mistake, so I've done one lap already. I ended up by mistake here, of course, and literally just had to go for it, and I didn't have any camera equipment on me. Partner was in the car, and I had no idea what was going on, so I feel a bit ill as well, unfortunately. I seem to have picked up the flu as we do at this time here, it's only March now, but I'm still having probably the best time of my life. Driving mile daily around the Nürburgring, all the way from England. Insane to me, really. Porsche flying. That's sick, that is. I think I can say this place is just full of Porsches and BMWs. I feel like that's half the problem sometimes when you come at this time on a Sunday. It's just full of people who live for this, and of course they know this track like at the back of their hand, I can imagine. For me, I'm not too familiar, you can probably tell. Let the people who know it by, because I don't really want to crash this thing or not. At this point though, my car still felt a little bit off, so I thought it was probably best to take things easy. It's the brakes as well. Didn't feel very good either at this point. It is quite nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. It's still a little bit damp on the floor and I don't, of course, know the circuit too well. So it's pretty sick track cars there, kitted out, ready to run for this. This is probably not the quickest car, but it definitely got to be the highest mileage on this ring right now. So I'm near the end now, but half the problem as well, I think, is when you're on here, you're just worried about getting into anyone else's way. You're absolutely flying on it. Because they look up and go in the back of you, it's your fault. So there we go. Now then, for our last lap, it was time to go and get an Uska.
Did they just let you straight in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good then.
Indeed. Pardon? After a couple of laps, my German was even getting better as well. Ah, thank you. Thank you. This is not their first rodeo.
No, clearly not, is it?
German, aren't they? Probably
Yeah.
live here.
She made that squeaky noise at all?
No, I was
thank
bricking
God.
it about that. That's also what I'm thinking. Like, oh, they're going to start squeaking again. So far, it's not awful.
Bmw Central. Look at how quick they are.
Brakes don't feel right.
Careful, careful, careful. Oh, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't
I
like
know. Take it easy. I think I get pretty hot as
that.
well.
They get too hot.
Yeah. I mean, this car isn't built for the Nürburgring.
Fun and games. Scuba route. Oh, be careful.
Porsche inbound. I guess that's what you do when you get money, don't it? Buy a ring season ticket, buy a Porsche, you're good to go.
Yeah.
I don't know about the thrust and brakes, but you can hear they're starting to lock.
Yeah, chill out. Chill out, relax.
You can hear them, can't you?
Yeah, they are fucking sound like the Dodge anyway. Will they hopefully make it back to the UK?
Yeah, should do.
Alright,
Should.
shouldn't
They got really hot like within like the first few kilometres of here.
Yeah.
They call it green hell, don't they? But I bet when you're used to it, it's like green paradise, isn't it?
Yeah. Green hell, that's mad, isn't it? What? Because there's all green around it, do you think?
Maybe.
That's actually what it is. Why it's called green hell?
Maybe, yeah. Bumpy, isn't it?
Careful.
Yes, I've just overtaken
A
a
Porsche.
Porsche on the Nürburgring who lives here. Probably because he's in live mode. but
Probably.
I'm very happy
He's
with
going
that.
very slow.
I
isn't
finally
he?
managed to overtake someone else. That has made my trip complete.
Bloody hell.
Was he just fucking with me?
Maybe.
Seen that the other day too, didn't we?
That's nice, isn't it?
But when you get used to it as well.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. both. The brakes don't feel great, it's making a squeaky noise, but it has actually made it to Germany and done, what, 3 laps of Nürburgring.
Yeah.
And I've not crashed.
On, as well, even more impressive, a full tank of fuel.
Yeah, I'm happy. And, well, hopefully she'll make it back. Brakes have gone to crap. Oh,
Nice Porsche.
that's nice.
Did you see that Corvette that was going around? Not fucking
Black
Corvette. Camaro. There was a lovely white Chevrolet Camaro going
No, I
around.
must have lapped him.
Oh, it was it was lovely.
A little bit further up the road, I pulled over and checked how hot my brakes had got. As you can see then, only after 1 or 2 laps around the ring, these brakes have got absolutely roasted. They've cooled down quite a bit now. After this, we packed our things up and made our way back to the UK. Now, this was such an amazing journey for me, and thanks to Anuska for organising this trip. In the end, once I've got back, I'd actually found out that my subframe had broken, but it still made it around the Nürburgring and back to the UK. Would explain why the car didn't feel quite right. Nonetheless, that's something that we're going to be repairing in the next video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to tap that subscribe button, and I'll catch you next time. See you in a bit.